Retirement need not be dreaded with the looming governmental proposal on retirement reform that has recently been released. The National Treasury intends for their forthcoming agenda to instill hope by enabling comfortable retirement by endorsing the preservation of savings and ensuring the enhancement of financial security for better protection of pension members. Olano Makhubela, the Chief Director of Financial Sector Policy, joins us from our Pretoria studios this morning. It's good to have you. Thank you very, very much for being our guest here on Morning Live.
Thank you so much, Leanne, and good morning to you and your viewers.
Now, there has been a false perception that government will have a hold of the pensions of pensioners. Please clarify this. What is government's take on it?
And that's a good question, Leanne. Let me reiterate that government has no intention at all to nationalize savers' money, or for that matter, to take their pension funds and use them to fund government projects. All that we are trying to do, Leanne, is to actually encourage South Africans who are likely to be formally employed and contributing into retirement funds to try and preserve their money until they reach retirement. So one of the challenges we have in the country, and particularly in the retirement system, is that when individuals change jobs, they are very quick to access their money and cash in on their savings. So all that we are trying to do is to encourage them to keep the money in the system for long, because that's how it will be able to earn a return and be able to grow and be able to serve individuals better in retirement. So in no ways are we trying to nationalize pension funds, or for that matter to fund government projects using members' funds.
Yeah. You know, the retirement reform may come as a relief for a lot of South Africans that are watching. But what are the prospective changes that will be made, and how exactly are they going to be implemented?
Yes, so there are 5 areas, Leanne, we are targeting. So the first one I've touched upon in terms of individuals accessing their cash savings before retirement. And I should state there that we currently don't have any laws forcing individuals to preserve. So what the public has seen so far are largely proposals trying to encourage individuals to keep their money in the system until they retire. The second area, Leanne, deals with annuitizing. So in retirement, ideally you want the retirees to purchase an annuity instead of taking the entire money as a cash benefit and spending it quickly. So we're trying to find a way to encourage individuals to actually purchase good value annuities so that they can earn an income in retirement. The third area, Leanne, deals with costs, and we have been engaging with the industry to see how best we can come up with retirement products which will offer good value to individuals, because cost can actually reduce your benefit, particularly because these are long-term savings. And even though the amounts might look very small, they do aggregate and add up in the long term. So we want to make sure that when individuals save, at least they get good value for their retirement savings. The fourth area, Leanne, deals with how we can incentivize individuals beyond just retirement savings. So one of the challenges you find in South Africa is that even though South Africans save, they largely save using their retirement savings. And when they experience that rainy day, and we all experience those unfortunate rainy days, they then are under pressure to access their retirement savings, whereas retirement savings should ideally be left until retirement. So we are trying to see how we can provide tax-free savings accounts just to nudge individuals to save beyond just their retirement.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, when we look at numbers, and it's quite scary. I suppose there's been an estimation that only 6% of South Africans on pension manage to replace earnings and sustain their quality of life, and that's a very, very scary statistic. What can be done to assist pensioners in retiring more comfortably, along with the measures by the public that can be taken?
Yes, indeed, it is a disturbing factor and observation, Leanne, and one needs to repeat the point that even though South Africans are trying to save using retirement savings, unfortunately, when they change jobs, they tend to access and take their savings as cash instead of leaving the money to grow.
Yeah.
So one needs to see if we can put in place a proper default so that when you actually resign, your money automatically goes into a default preservation fund, whereas currently the default is for you to take the money. So the system makes it very easy currently for individuals to actually access their money. Secondly, education, Leanne. I think the more the public is educated in terms of the benefits of keeping their money in the system for long, the better the outcomes. So one needs to address the issue in a very holistic way to ensure that you get the best outcome.
Yeah. A culture of saving in South Africa is not very popular. I mean, it's a problem that we have across the board. And obviously it's been linked to low income earning. And, it's very difficult to save and at the same time lead a life where you put food on the table, pay school fees, pay bonds off, and everything like that.
Yes.
What do we do in this situation, in this unique context that we find ourselves in?
It's a very good and difficult question, Leanne. And I think what one could say is that, even little money put aside can actually go a long way. And we take your point and the public's concern that, they are pressed, fuel prices have been going up, inflation, etc. So in a way, it is a bit of a tougher call on many South Africans to ask them to save. However, it's not necessarily only a low-income earners issue. Even your middle-income individuals, you realize that some of them actually don't save that well, despite the fact that they are getting decent salaries. So as I indicated, I think one needs to try and send the message as frequently as possible and try to nudge the public into doing the right things. And we are doing our best also as government in terms of providing this tax-free savings accounts and incentives just to try and nudge South Africans into a savings culture.
Yeah, indeed. Well, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very, very much for joining us and clarifying a few issues here for us on retirement and savings. Olano Makhubela is the Chief Director of Financial Policy. He's talking to us from our Pretoria studios and giving us some information about pensions and savings.